Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. A couple days went by. I emailed San Diego studios, didn't hear nothing, so we are starting over. It's unfortunate, but the good news is this time around I'll be able to maybe do some things a little differently, do things a little better, learn from a couple of my mistakes I made with the franchise. The plan here is I'm going to go through each month of just managing the roster and scouting, and then I'll simulate to where I was, which was just after the All-Star break. So that's the plan right here. Some things are going to be a little bit different with the team just because, playing once every 3 games, right? That's what I do. I play 1 game, simulate 2 or 3. Certain players I hit better with than the computer. So we have to kind of take that into consideration when setting lineups and setting the roster and all that. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of turn this series for the next few videos into kind of a franchise information, how to start a franchise, how to manage a franchise, and then get back into the gameplay. We're going to use the current ones. Obviously, that's always the most accurate. Seattle Mariners. Okay, make sure all this is good. I do want to do a fantasy draft on a future video. I think that would be awesome. But for now, this is what we're doing. Going full, full complexity here. We're making everything crazy. That's the whole point of franchise, right? So, we'll set that later. We're going to go to the regular season. Okay. What I'm going to try to do this time around is simulate and save to 2 different files and upload to the cloud. That way, if something happens, data gets corrupted again, I can delete and re-download from the cloud every couple of games. That's the only way I can figure that we can keep a franchise going with the problems that this game has. Really frustrating. Hopefully they can fix that, but it is what it is. So let's get right into the franchise. What are some things we need to do right away when we're starting a franchise? My favorite thing to do right away is identify our talent. Now, this is pretty easy if you know baseball, if you know players, that kind of thing. But I like to just hop right into the roster real quick and just kind of look at position by position. So starting pitching, obviously the Seattle Mariners, one of the best starting rotations in baseball. I actually, feel like they did Bryce Miller kind of dirty and Logan Gilbert. I think these 2 guys are actually both a little bit better, but here we are, right? Great starting rotation, good depth. We like it. All these guys are young, 26, 25, 24. Luis Castillo. So we're good for the time being on starting pitching, right? So that's something to remember. Bullpen, always a place that you can improve. And Seattle's bullpen on this game just really is not good. I don't like the bullpen at all. Brash, Santos, 2 guys that I actually like a lot, both B potential. Those are going to be big pieces for the bullpen. Spire's not bad. Stanek's not bad either, Andres Munoz, an obvious dog. We like him. So, catching. This is a good spot for the Seattle Mariners, right? Harry Ford, the top prospect in our organization. Okay. Cal Raleigh, Mitch Garver. Garver does have position eligibility at first base as well. I will use him as a first baseman instead of Ty France against righties. I know that's crazy, but that's just the way we're going to do it this year. Second base is interesting. Polanco and Rojas. Polanco's defense is really not good, and you notice it. So the good thing about Dylan Moore is his position eligibility. He can play literally every position. And then Luis Urias is kind of our project here. This is a guy, 26 years old. He's coming up on a free agent year next year. So we got to figure out, do we want to sign him long term? With his potential, I think he really could be pretty valuable. Just needs some work on the arm, obviously, and then, the hitting's getting there. It's not there yet, but he will start every day for us. And then, of course, into our shortstops, which we actually have good depth at. We got some young guys that are really, really good. Type Heat in there. So when JP leaves to free agency here in 3 seasons, we should have a shortstop available. Left field's kind of a tough one in Seattle. Luke Raley's good, but other than that, Dom Canzone's not too bad. But yeah, kind of interesting. And then obviously Julio Rodriguez, the star of our team, will be our center fielder for the next decade at least. So we know that's taken care of. Taylor Trammell, also a guy that I really like, but the CPU doesn't do well using him. But he's a guy that, because I am a player that's played this game a lot, the 23 vision doesn't bother me too much. And I'm able to just hammer baseballs with him with the 74 power. Something to keep in mind, right? On the other series, he was playing every day. And he was having a great year. But this time around, he won't be. That's okay, because we're paying Mitch Haniger, what, $14 million? Yeah, so Haniger will play every day. Let's talk about things to keep in mind with your pitching rotation. Starting pitching is very, very simple. Bullpen. I have found that if I'm playing a lot of games, my bullpen is tired. So I think it pays to have an extra bullpen guy and take away somebody off your bench. A lot of teams have guys with position eligibility at a lot of positions. So a guy like Dylan Moore is going to be our primary guy that we play off the bench, okay? Cade Marlowe and Sam Haggerty, I don't need. Even though Sam Haggerty hammers left-handed pitching, I really, as long as I have Dylan Moore, we're good here. For me, I don't particularly need Cade Marlowe either. I'm sending these two guys down, and I'm bringing up Dom Canzone. We'll move to the MLB. Cade Marlowe to AAA. And then Sam Haggerty to AAA. AAA's got a few too many. We'll pick somebody from AAA to send down. So now what we see is we still have a spot available on our MLB roster, right? So what we want to do now is find a pitcher, a reliever from AAA to kind of bring up and see what they can do. In my mind, Emerson Hancock is a great option. He's got potential, and he could be a long relief guy out of the bullpen if we wanted. He's really the only option we have, so he'll come to the MLB. And then what we'll do is we'll go to our pitching rotation and make sure that is taken care of. So here we go. There's our bullpen. Pretty good, right? So all the rosters of 26. So that's kind of what you want to do with your roster initially when you first start a new franchise. Is you want to go in there, identify talent, identify where your depth is, and then how you want to structure your roster and how you want to structure your lineup. So for me, this right here is perfect. I've got Dylan Moore, who can play all over the infield and outfield. I've got Dom Canzone, who can play all over the outfield. He's got a great arm. A little bit of pop against righties. And Dylan Moore, a little bit of pop against lefties. So that's cool. I've got Sebi Zavala, basically back up to Cal Raleigh. And then we'll set our lineups. And that is kind of the next phase of that. I might break this down into a couple of different videos and talk about some different things there. So we'll probably break it down here. And then we'll get into setting your lineups and how to kind of structure them with simulation from the CPU and structure them for yourself. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care.